What do you picture when you think of an egalitarian society? Maybe a political utopia where no struggle for power exists, or simply a democratically governed modern welfare state. For some people, there is no such thing as a truly equal society, because authority is the very essence of social organization. Without authority, there can be no social contract, and once authority is established, inequality of power and wealth becomes inevitable. But what if I told you that there was a certain type of society where individuals have no real authority over each other, and equality is actively pursued by everyone? This may sound utopian, but such societies have been widely documented by anthropologists. Many of them are small, nomadic bands of hunter-gatherers, such as the Hadza people of Tanzania, the Kung Bushmen of the Kalahari, the Mbuti Pygmies of Zaire, the Pandaram and Palian of South India, and the Batek Negritos of Malaysia. In terms of the stage of development, these people are close to our ancestors in the Paleolithic era. Within these societies, any attempt by alpha individuals to establish top-down hierarchy is always met with collective sanction. People as a group uses mockery, criticism, disobedience, or expulsion to repress the rise of despotic leaders. This mechanism is properly named as reverse dominance hierarchy by anthropologist Christopher Bohm. But why does such egalitarian social relation only exist within simple societies like hunter-gatherers? Anthropologist James Woodburn has given a materialist explanation. He believes that egalitarianism is embedded in the very fabric of a certain mode of production. To understand it, he introduces a crucial binary definition of economic systems: immediate return versus delayed return. In immediate return systems, labor yields direct and immediate consumption. Food is hunted or gathered and eaten promptly with minimal processing or storage. Tools are simple, portable, and easily made or replaced. There is no significant investment of labor in long-term assets. Delayed return systems encompass most human societies, including farming, herding, and later industry. In these systems, individuals invest labor over time in assets like crops, herds, boats, and storages for processed food, which yield a return only in the future. This inevitably creates dependencies and binding commitments between people laboring as a group. So why do immediate return systems produce egalitarian social relations, while delayed return systems lead to inequality? The first factor is mobility. In immediate return systems, no labor is invested in long-term assets. So there are no permanent houses, no stored granaries, no fenced land. People live in small, flexible camps. Any individual or family can leave their camp at a moment's notice, to join another camp or to go off on their own. Among the Kung people of Namibia and Botswana, about 13% of the population makes a permanent residential shift from one camp to another annually, while another 35% divides its period of residence equally among 2 or 3 different camps. High mobility is a powerful leveling mechanism that prevents the establishment of hierarchy. If some alpha individual tries to exert control or dominance, people can simply move away, because their survival doesn't depend on that person or that specific patch of land. This constant possibility of exit is a breathtakingly simple democratic tool. It means social relations are based on consent rather than coercion. You stay with people because you want to, not because you have to. People in delayed return systems have no such luck. For instance, when a community of farmers come across a powerful invader, they often fall under despotic rule. Because farmers are tied to their land, exit is not an option for them. The second factor is the balance of force. In immediate return, hunter-gatherer societies, all men have direct access to the ultimate means of violence, lethal hunting weapons. This creates a universal deterrent. You might be stronger or more charismatic than me, but you sleep at night knowing I have a poisoned arrow and I know how to use it. So, if one man tries to impose their will on others, he might face ambush at night or on hunting trips. The threat of ambush also makes people very careful not to offend others. If one hunter bags a giant antelope while another comes back empty-handed, he will make sure to share the meat, because individual success might provoke jealousy and resentment, which can also lead to conflict. This is why in most immediate return hunter-gatherer societies, there are elaborate customs that force the redistribution of windfalls, especially meat. Among the Kung, the owner of the kill might be the person who lent the arrow, not the hunter. Among the Hadza, the successful hunter must sit quietly and be modest about his performance, Meat is widely and systematically shared throughout the camp via formal rules. Woodburn provocatively compares this to taxation. The successful hunter is obligated to contribute his surplus to the common pool. He doesn't get more back later, and he doesn't gain lasting prestige. This prevents the conversion of hunting skill into wealth, status, or dependent clientele. Apart from sharing, gift exchange and gambling are also popular mechanisms that prevent inequality. Hadza men spend more time gambling than hunting, staking prized items like metal-tipped arrows or stone pipes. Because it's a game of luck, these scarce goods circulate randomly through the population, so that there is little to no material accumulation. This can limit debt or dependency, as well as emotions like jealousy that lead to violence. And lastly, the most important factor is free and equal access to resources. In immediate return systems, there are no fixed productive assets, no fixed territories or borders that mark property right. People have free and equal access to means of subsistence, wild foods, water, and raw materials. Adults of either sex can readily obtain enough food to feed themselves adequately, therefore maintains a high degree of autonomy. Without dependency relations between people, hierarchy and domination are difficult to establish. For instance, if a Hadza woman is mistreated by her husband, she can leave at any time because she does not rely on him for survival. On the contrary, in delayed returned systems like fishing, a woman leaving home would struggle to sustain herself without boats and fishing nets, leaving her no options but to endure spousal violence and domination. Agriculture is another example where delayed return creates dependency. According to anthropologist Audrey Richards, in southern Bantu agrarian communities, the authority of a man as household head is linked with his control over the grain supply and the cattle herd. Such dependencies stemming from property ownership are absent in immediate return systems, making patriarchy and gerontocracy rare. Some elders may be respected for their experience, but lack the ability to impose their will on others. Leadership is built on persuasion rather than coercion. To summarize, in immediate return systems, high population mobility and the balance of force prevent the establishment of hierarchy and domination. Free and equal access to natural resources reduce dependency among people so that individuals have no real authority over each other. Thus, reverse dominance hierarchy becomes the natural state of society. What lessons can we learn from immediate return hunter-gatherers? Some people argue that egalitarian social relations can only exist in such primitive, simple societies. Once the mode of production developed into delayed return systems like farming, herding, and industry, hierarchy inevitably took over. This is why humans have lived in class societies for thousands of years. Pursuing equality in modern industrial society, they claim, is doomed to fail. In my opinion, this argument misses the point entirely. Woodburn has shown that the structure of immediate return systems naturally disengages people from property and from the potential for property to create dependency. Property and dependency stemming from it are the real source of inequality. This is true for any society, no matter what stage of development. Bringing back equality in today's world is no doubt a difficult task, but it is not impossible. The absence of property is a natural state in hunter-gatherer bands, but in today's industrial society, it requires revolutionary action. Thank you for watching. I put a lot of work into the research and production of this video, so if you get this far, I would really appreciate if you could give me a like or subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. I will see you next time.